Welcome to this Monday edition of Around the Premier League.
Nice. I like it.
No, we're leaving it in. Come on, let's go. Come on, it's game time. So Francis Maxwell is going to be covering the beautiful game, including Egypt qualifying for the World Cup. The first time since '98. Give him 3 rounds of applause. So in not the world's game, but in America's game, Odell Beckham Jr. suffered an injury. He broke his left ankle, I believe it was. Yes, broke his left ankle against the San Diego Chargers, and it was gruesome, and it was painful. To see it in slow motion was horrible on Twitter. To see him crying because he knew that his season was likely over. But in that situation, you can't really put yourself in their heads because he could be thinking anything. Is my career over? Is my season over? Am I ever going to get over this? You just saw all of the, in the words of Ron Burgundy, Jason, in the glass case of emotion that he had to deal with. It was exemplified through CBS and the cameras that were broadcasting this game. And I think it just shows that no matter what, he cares. He cares about playing, he cares about winning, and everyone that says that he's so immature for his own good and he's built up this character that is so incredibly flawed. No, that's just you guys running with a storyline. That's false. Odell Beckham Jr. clearly caring, hurt, out for the rest of the season. Not only that, there were some other injuries for the New York Giants. Jonathan Casillas, defensive captain, also injured. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie hurt his foot. This team is not only injured.
Sterling Shepard, Dwayne Harris.
I was going to get to that. I was going to save it for the
whole team.
All right, let's just do it. So this is going to be, does it have a number? The Terrell Owens and Ochocinco tweets, because they're dealing with a lot of injuries of the New York Giants. As the comrade to my left, who is probably going to go on a rant in just a moment.
Yeah, not really.
Dwayne Harris, injured. Brandon Marshall, injured. Sterling Shepard, injured.
That one.
Odell Beckham Jr. injured. So now here's what Chad Ochocinco was tweeting to the New York Giants and also Terrell Owens. So here Chad is tweeting, "Hey, big kid."
Nice.
9,500 plus retweets. And then Terrell Owens also tweeting, "Hey, Giants." Going with the more laid back way.
Very laid back.
"Hey, Giants, let me know if you need an interim wide receiver. I wonder what he would pay." Now, Bleacher Report also had a really great Photoshop. I believe we have this as well. Thank you. What would Ochocinco
look like they can
and
play.
TO look like in Giants uniforms? Here's the question. Do you have to take them as a package?
Yes, absolutely. They're handcuffed. This is like, what is the term in fantasy? We got to handcuff them together.
You got to handcuff them together, like a quarterback and running back.
Exactly.
All right, so Giants fan, go ahead. How do you feel?
Well, first of all, if the Giants were, I don't know, if the Giants were, let's say, 2-3 after that game, or even 3-2, I'd say go out and somehow find a way to convince Calvin Johnson to come out of retirement, because the defense is still technically.
Don't you think he'd only do that for like the Patriots?
Yeah, I do, but I would say like at that point you go like, hey man, it's been 5-6 weeks. Have you considered at all changing? Is there any way you'll come play for the New York Giants? Like, and it would all depend, of course, if you had like a quarterback who could actually throw the football at this point. And it's not
you
like
had Ryan Nassib.
It's not anger at Eli Manning. Like at this point, it's just like the writing is very much on the wall. Eli Manning looks like Peyton Manning in his last season with the Broncos, especially towards that second half, where you're like, man, this guy is. He can change the play, he can read the defense, but he can't get the ball downfield. He has no mobility at all anymore. It just happened to Eli a little bit earlier than it ever happened to Peyton. And he did look okay in the second half. Granted, the throw he had to Odell Beckham Jr. is what led to Odell getting his fucking ankle snapped in half. It was a really bad throw, and Odell's going to catch pretty much anything in the vicinity that he can. He doesn't even need more than one hand to do it. And of course, Odell Beckham Jr. was the only reason we had the lead in the first place after he literally pumped life back into the New York Giants, or tried to, organization after doing his celebration of the CPR thing. So here's why it's not an issue that Odell Beckham Jr. is out for the season. Now, I don't want to see anybody get injured like that. That looks gruesome and painful. But now Odell Beckham Jr. has pretty much, what, 10 months till next spring training? Not spring training, what's it called? Training camp? The Giants are 0-5. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not playing for anything.
Has any team ever made the playoffs after going 0-5?
That team is not making the playoffs. Doesn't matter if they even tried. Mostly because, again, the Eagles are going to run away with that division. If not, the Cowboys will make it close at the end of the year.
Yep.
It's remarkable that the Giants are 3-2 against the spread. So, we're winning in that one. And secondly,
the most important to some.
I think as a publicity stunt, by the way, I'd be totally in favor of the Giants signing Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco. I think that would be a blast. I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't want to see any old men getting hurt, but at the same time,
except when they're volunteering their services to go out there and potentially get hurt.
These are two of the biggest personalities we ever had in the NFL. First of all, if it reminds anybody of how good Terrell Owens once was, because it's a mockery that he's not in the NFL Hall of Fame as maybe the 3rd, 4th, or 5th greatest receiver to ever play the game, or at least in the top 6 or 7. So at this point, there's no energy to be mad at the New York Giants. Losing Jonathan Casillas is brutal. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, I have no energy to be angry at them, even though at one point I'm going 1-4. Just at this point, we're tank for Darnold or the guy from Wyoming.
Luke
something.
Shit.
We'll get to it.
Luke Falk.
It's definitely not Luke Falk.
Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly was Ole Miss.
It could be Chad Kelly.
I'm blanking on the
It's
on the
not
kid's
Chad
name.
Kelly. I'm kidding.
It's Josh Allen.
Thank you.
Took me a while. Here's why I'm rooting for it, all right? Ben McAdoo's kind of being a prick to his players.
Ben McAdoo needs to be fired.
He's kind of being a prick. Although, again, I'm not trying to bite the hand that feeds us. He's providing us so much.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Don't touch my hand. So he's providing us.
Not touching your hand.
He's providing us so much that we don't want to, take it away. That was a horrible example. But
you tried.
But I tried. I tried with what I was given. It's like Madden being like, "Well, you open up the offense,
Really good.
That was bad. I think I'm 0 for 2 in the span of 30 seconds.
It's close enough.
Was it close enough?
It was close enough.
I just realized John Madden has the same sort of shtick as Chris Collinsworth.
But
just you can't understand John Madden.
Nobody who watches this show knows who John Madden is.
Madden football.
I know that, but the joke is there's not. I know that the joke is.
Come on.
Nobody remembers him as being a broadcaster that watches the show because
no one remembers him being a Hall of Fame coach.
That too.
Yeah. So
fair point.
Okay, so Ben McAdoo is kind of being a prick to his players. So here's what I say: fight back, John Mara. Give him prick players.
Yeah.
Give him prick players.
Well, they did. They gave him.
Let's see what happens with the media. Let's see the next time that TO is pissed that Eli Manning couldn't get him the ball, and see him pull Marcus Peters on the sidelines on steroids, and see what he does. Because that would provide even better fodder than talking about a Giants team that is almost meaningless at this point to even have in a discussion. This could be the last one because Odell Beckham Jr. got hurt. That's the only reason we're talking about them. They're one of the most disappointing franchises in the NFL this season. So you know what? Provide me something.
The most disappointing franchise in the NFL this season.
Give me something. Give me TO and Chad Ochocinco beefing with the coach.
I'm still surprised that Ben McAdoo in his press conference didn't go, yeah, we really could have used Odell in those last 2 minutes there in that final drive. It's just, it seems like, he just landed wrong, and I felt like he could have played, but that would have been perfect. At this point, and then Eli would have came out and probably just been like, yeah, whatever Coach McAdoo says. He's, again, my fear, my fear. My fear is that these injuries, to which there was a couple Twitter rumblings, but now that they're injured and they're 0-5 and they're going to finish 3-13, and that's a stretch. Which, by the way, after week 2, when I tweeted out the schedule the Giants had, because it was Eagles, Bucks, Chargers. It was Eagles, Bucks, Chargers, and Broncos, and I said 1-5 with this team would be a fucking miracle, right? And that was based on the fact.
Did you?
That was, yes. It was based on the fact that the Giants would beat the Eagles.
Here's who they got.
And up until that point, a 61-yard field goal away from beating the Eagles, 1-5. I promise you, if you think Eli Manning has looked bad, I guarantee that next week with no receivers, when they pick up the rest of whatever 8th string receivers Bill Belichick has, also named Chris Hogan, but not the one that starts for the Patriots, just a different Chris Hogan who played lacrosse at Meredith or Methodist University, whatever it might be. They'll play competitively against the Broncos.
Here's who they have on the schedule.
They'll look actually pretty good against the Broncos.
Here's who they have on their schedule.
I don't want to know.
At Denver. They host Seattle. They host the Rams, who look pretty good.
So the 3 of the toughest defenses in the league.
And then they go to San Francisco. That could be a win. They host Kansas City.
They have the toughest schedule. They have one of the toughest schedules.
I'm just gonna stop there. I'm just gonna stop there.
No, do you think they can run the table? Go 0-16. Do you think they can go 0-16?
I think they can run the table.
I think they can run the
antithesis of Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, the Jets were supposed to do this was the Jets' plan of action, and instead the Giants look at this and they go, hold my beer. There you go. John Mara already signs pricks.
Do I think they can win?
Josh Brown at one point.
I think they could win 2 or 3 games. They could beat San Francisco. They could beat Washington because you never know what Washington's going to give you. And they could beat Arizona.
You do believe? Like, here's the thing. So I know this sounds insane, but it's like not Giants on the road. Like against like a Broncos, like they're gonna play competitively. It won't come out of nowhere.
Right.
But it's like when the Jets play the Patriots at home and the Jets like make a competitive 16-13 like win or loss. So can we run the table is the question.
I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to disrespect you. It's more so your team. I don't want to talk about them again.
No, what's the point at this point?
They're a waste. They're a waste of a franchise. They have an owner who openly admitted to blackballing Colin Kaepernick. Like nothing good has come of the Giants.
You're gonna roll back the waste of a franchise like this year.
Yes, this year.
In that context, but it's still got still.
No. I'm not saying historically.
Thank you.
I'm saying this year they are one of the biggest waste of space franchises in the National Football League.
Yeah,
so I think that's a high note to end on. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm out of it. Like, what's the point? I'm out of energy.
Super.
No reason to be angry anymore.
Let us know your thoughts. Comment section below. Subscribe to TYT Sports.